Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. I'm Mick. Joining me, as always, is
Ben.
Landon Browning.
And we have a returning guest star, Wil Dobratz.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. A true friend.
Woo!
Unlike Colby.
Yeah, Colby.
He's just an acquaintance,
He's
right?
an acquaintance of the show. I want to give a quick shout out. We're going to have
Shout out.
a friend of the show, Jonah Gallegos, on the show. But once he figured out that I was going to slam him down for liking Superman, he kind of...
Man, right out of the gate.
Out a little bit. I just got it off my chest. He couldn't take it. So, if you ever want to come on the show, Jonah, you ever want to face...
I've heard that he wants to come on next week, so...
All right, yeah, let's do it then.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Dude, my money is right in my mouth.
Oh, that's disgusting. You know how dirty money is?
Oh, it's so dirty.
I've thought about that before, like how just gross money is.
Oh, it's changed.
It's probably like the most disgusting thing on the planet.
That and your phone, probably like.
That, your phone, the TV remote is really gross. Like the handle of anything. It's just gonna be disgusting.
Too many hands have grabbed it. Not about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope people can hear you well.
I hope so too.
I can't hear you very well.
I'm afraid I'm just gonna be talking into nothing. And like
your mic is so. I hate that mic.
All the listeners are gonna be like, "Oh, there's like."
Will's using the most expensive mic, and I think it's the worst mic here.
Yeah, it will go away.
Feels like it. I have to like bend over, hunch over every single time I talk into the mic.
It looks like it's picking up there. So.
We got waveforms.
Woo!
That's what counts. So E3 was just this last week. Did you guys actually watch E3 at all?
I took a break from my finals to watch some E3 stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're that dedicated.
Priorities,
Right,
yeah,
right.
I know.
Half listening, half watching at work. I was one of them reads, It was good. I liked this year. I thought there was a lot of potential for a lot of good games coming out.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the games that you saw that you kind of gravitated towards?
Doom Eternal looks like a good one. Breath of the Wild 2. And Borderlands 3. Which we're going to talk about.
Get a grip.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Borderlands 3. I think that's what it is. So that's what I'm excited about. But there's a lot. There's a lot that looks really good this year.
I think Ben, you and I are both really excited for a game called Astral Chain.
Yeah.
I think it's from the makers of a game called Nier Automata and Bayonetta. And I know I was a huge fan of the storytelling and all the stuff and all the combat in Nier Automata. So I'm really excited for that one. Yeah. Yeah,
the combat was really good. How you're able to chain together like multiple attacks. It's got that anime feel to it. Like
that. Yes, I do like anime.
So Astral Chain looks like you're a cop of some sort.
Some sorts. I think you're. I've been trying to stay away a little bit to like get the full experience of a game. Like,
I don't do that. I ruin games.
Oh yeah, okay.
With all the trailers.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
So you're like, I think you're a cop in a city overrun by some sort of aliens. I guess some sort of
astral chain
from an astral plane.
No.
Yeah.
There is another plane of dimension though. Yeah. People are getting pulled into it, and you have to like navigate it or something. I have no idea. I probably butchered that storyline really bad.
Well, no one knows right now.
No one knows right now. Yeah, but I'm really excited for it, just basically because of Nier, because I love Nier. So.
I didn't finish it, which you just called me for all the time.
There's 3 games I keep telling people to get, and it's Phoenix Wright, Nier, and Persona 5. And
yeah, man, like your big 3.
The big 3.
Not that strong.
Okay, all right.
You guys talking about these weeb crap, man? Like, give me Cyberpunk.
Okay, hold on. I knew the conversation was going to.
It was already going to be the best game that came out next year, and then they're like, "Oh,
and now
Keanu Reeves." He comes out on the stage. He's like, "Yeah,
the best person on the planet is now
in the best game.
In the best game."
Okay, all right.
We probably talk about Keanu Reeves and John Wick every episode, and so to see him,
it's worth talking about every episode.
No, yeah,
he's like the coolest person
ever. He came
out
on the stage, like.
He came out on the stage. He got heckled, and then he like in a loving way, and then he like heckled back in a loving way.
The crowd was like, you're breathtaking.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
when
you're
he's like-
breathtaking.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
He's really like the people's champ.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I would love to meet him. He's
he
just
sounds
such a
like,
cool guy.
you know, he has a really like tragic
Yeah,
backstory
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like, it's something with like his.
wife or
I
family.
actually
wife
heard
died,
like
his
the part
daughter
of the first John Wick was kind of loosely based off of that. With that tragedy.
Except he didn't
Except
kill
for
a
that
bunch of
part.
people in real
Yeah.
life.
Just
Hopefully not.
like real life.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Cyberpunk. They showed a little more gameplay of that.
I mean, I watched the E3 trailer and I watched Keanu Reeves like talk about the game for a few minutes. I didn't watch the gameplay trailer. I think they showed a gameplay trailer. I didn't watch
It was
that.
a story trailer, not a
Yeah,
gameplay
story
I
trailer.
watched the story one, the one that played during that.
They showed the same one.
Oh.
So yeah, there's not a. I don't think there was a gameplay trailer.
Okay, they had a
I think it was
behind
just
the
the-
doors demo of it, I think. But
yeah.
last E3 they showed gameplay. They had like a 45-minute game, or maybe it wasn't last E3, but last time I showed it, they showed like 45 minutes of gameplay. And I think I watched half of it. I was like, all right, this is all I need to know. The game looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's gonna be game of the year.
Oh, I don't think so.
Game of the year.
Last of Us 2 is coming out.
Or
I
Last
think
of Us 2.
people are going to
Last-
gravitate towards Last of Us 2.
or Cyberpunk.
Did they have a release date for
It's
Cyberpunk?
like March 20th next year.
Wow, that's soon.
Yeah,
That's just right around the corner.
they're having there's like a $250 collector's edition that like.
I bet.
Thinking about
I bet I know someone who's gonna buy that.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger on it. Like
I
don't
would
buy those
not.
things.
If you're going to buy it, you need to buy it now.
I
Because
know.
like you need to decide soon.
It's probably sold
gonna,
out
It's
already.
gonna sell out soon.
It just. I don't
Is it for sale already?
Yeah.
I think it's for sale already. You can already pre-order it.
It looks awesome. It comes with like the steel book.
It comes with steel book, that's all you need.
Art book, like soundtrack stuff, like all kinds. It comes with quite a bit of stuff.
So what are you so excited about the game? Because I've heard like, oh, I'm excited. All I need to know is this. But what? Because I am actually not that excited. For
You
the game.
haven't played The Witcher 3.
I've played a little bit of
Okay,
Witcher.
you played like
I've played 5 hours.
200 hours of the game. Like, yeah, it's gonna be
Pulling
good
your
if you,
cord over there.
if you yeah, I'm pulling it.
Landon's messing with the mic.
Yeah, but if you played all of The Witcher 3, you would know why.
I mean, okay. I guess the themes I'm not so excited for. I like the cyberpunk setting.
Isn't it just
You're
like
approved.
futuristic?
Futuristic, like super futuristic, which I guess looks cool, but there's nothing that's made me go like, oh wow, you know, like
I like games that have
this is
multiple
cool.
endings and like big choices and like moral like ground gray choices, all kinds of like different outcomes that can happen, like gameplay variety, a cool world, cool characters. Keanu Reeves is in the
Like
game.
that should be like
That should be enough.
that should be the only thing.
I haven't
that's-
seen John Wick, so I
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah.
I so much about everything.
I just got like banned from the podcast for
Yeah,
life. Like,
get out.
I think one of the things, The Witcher didn't really entice me, and I know that's not a good thing with Landon.
I would agree with Ben.
It's one of the best games.
I'm sure it's good. I don't know why I wasn't able to get into it. Maybe I'm much more interested in Cyberpunk because maybe I like the setting better, and I like that it's first person. I do feel like the developer said I do feel like it's more immersive for me, and I don't know. Maybe it was just something about Geralt and The Witcher that I just.
Well, it's already an established
Yeah.
world. Like this is something
Established world,
unique.
established characters.
Yeah, this is something unique. Like you are like you do have a voiced character that has a storyline, but you get a lot more freedom with what to do with that.
Yeah,
I believe.
you're kind of making your character, but Geralt, he's his own guy, and you're just kind of along for the ride. I've never really been interested in games like that. I'd rather just watch a movie, with stuff like that. And it's kind of the same way with the Uncharted games with Mick. I know you love those,
So good.
but I played them. I was just like, gosh, it just feels great. You know, it's gripping, and the characters are funny and awesome. For some reason, I just can't sit through like a 20-30 hour game, and you know.
So you would rather be the character.
I'd rather feel like I'm making the choices.
I think
Yeah.
I think you'll like Cyberpunk a lot because The Witcher had choices, but like you said, you're kind of already on a path. Like you are Geralt. Like Geralt's not gonna like sell out all his friends. You know, like Fallout. Like Fallout, when you make choices, you can kind of do whatever.
You can be a psycho.
Yeah, you can be a complete psycho. And I think like Cyberpunk is probably gonna let you do that. I heard them say that there's no fail states for missions.
Yeah.
So like no matter what happens, you can.
No matter what happens, you progress the story.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
like that.
man.
I really like that.
That's kind of stressful.
That's see, like with The Witcher, it's like it stresses me out because I could make a wrong decision that I don't like, and I have to live with it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's like real life. I like because I like in a game called 999. There's like a bunch of flowcharts. It's super linear. I really like that. So for something that's like, you can mess up and the story still goes on. You have to live with those consequences in like a 100-hour RPG. It scares the living daylights out of me.
I think the game's like 3 times bigger than like The Witcher 3. I think.
So is it open world then?
Yeah, it's open world.
Do you think it's going to actually benefit from an open world?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
It'll probably be open world. Like I think there'll probably be more like level structure to certain areas. You know, like an open world. Like have the open world, but it'll be like there's probably big buildings that you go into. Like probably with not loading screens, with it being like such a newer game, but like where it's like okay, this building is for a specific mission, and you can go back there later. But like, I'm assuming there'll be somewhat mission structure inside of the open world.
Yeah, because I know you didn't have this critique of Red Dead 2. But I thought that like
Don't come in here and start hating on Red Dead.
okay, story's amazing. Okay, I'll just put that out there. I love the story, but I felt like it was almost 2 different games. You know, like you
How
have
so?
what?
How so?
Like you have your mission, and your mission structures are structured like your missions felt a little derived.
Like the story missions?
The story missions were derived from the open world stuff, and it almost felt completely separate. And
From what?
From the story missions felt completely separate from the open world.
Oh, okay.
So you have your open world part of the game where you can do hunting, where you can talk to NPCs, where you can like interact and stuff. But then the story missions were so linear that I felt like I was just hopping from one world to the next.
Is that kind of the point though?
I
Like
think-
to have that separation?
Well, you kind of have to deliver a strong narrative.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like a game like
I would
Far
agree with
Cry,
that.
like all the storytelling's told of like radio stuff. I guess you're running around like a maniac from like point to point. Like you could be running, jumping, lighting things on fire, and somebody's talking to you about how like this is really important that we do this. Like I kind of liked the like you have this awesome open world in Red Dead. They're like, okay, now it's time for a scripted story mission that takes place in the world that they control a little bit more to like have more of an impact.
right, I would agree with that. But what I was trying to get at was like they feel almost like 2 completely different games, rather. And it's okay to have a separation there, but what I would say is that it almost feels like you're forced to do things certain ways in story missions, only that way. As in the open world, you have more freedom to do what you want, if that makes sense. When like in a game like Breath of the Wild, where the story is pretty much perfectly integrated with the open world, although I will agree that Breath of the Wild had a weak story.
They had to do it that way. I think that's an issue with developing games like that. It's like Nintendo had to kind of shoehorn in this type of story, like where everything already happened, you know, and you're just kind of finding the pieces. It's like it worked really well because that's the story they told, you know.
Yeah.
But how else would they tell a more linear story?
Right, because then you'd have to you would have to go someplace. You would have to do this. You would have to do that. And Breath of the Wild was all about, okay, do what you want ultimately. And it's almost impossible to have that perfect blend of story and gameplay. So that's why I ask in Cyberpunk, will it benefit from an open world?
I think it will, because I think it will. I don't think it would be good in a linear aspect for like immersion, say like being immersed in the world.
Yeah, but when you have an open world, you usually have to sacrifice some sort of linearity if it truly is a good open world, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't think the game's going to be very linear.
You don't think so?
No.
What if they have a Cyberpunk VR?
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be crazy.
Well, since
you
we're
could reach out and touch Keanu.
Keanu comes to me.
You're
the best.
Like,
No.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil this for you, but who's Keanu? Keanu's character is in the game. Apparently, he's just like kind of like an apparition in your mind. So he's actually a big part of the story.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Think of the Joker from Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I heard exactly like that, where he's just in your
Cool.
head from that chip you stole, like they showed that E3 clip that they showed us. where you took that ship and then the guy's like, oh, you brought all the feds here from all over, they're gonna be stomping down the store or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
I saw a really funny picture. It was comparing a screenshot of Keanu Reeves from Into the Matrix, which came out like PlayStation 2 era,
Yeah.
and just the graphics of his face compared to Cyberpunk. It's night and day. It's just
is.
how crazy the graphics.
Cyberpunk literally looks like him. Like it literally,
Yeah.
Like 10 years. That was like, was it? No, 15 more like from PS2 era to now. In 15 years, it's gone from like pixelated polygons to looking almost like
you could reach out.
you could reach out
and
and touch your TV.
I wonder when along the development process they decided, you know, Keanu Reeves is going to be perfect as this part, you know?
I bet they knew a while ago.
Really?
I bet they kept it under wraps.
Yeah, probably.
'Cause I think for what they're going for, that gets me like really excited for his character in that game.
He seems perfect for that kind of world.
Yeah,
because like the game, like you're kind of an underworld kind of, like you're kind of like almost like a bounty hunter. It seems like.
He's a
Kind of
rough
like
and
that
gruff
kind of,
guy,
like-
yeah.
So like he just seems perfect for like, so kind of like John Wick. He's kind of in that underworld.
Yeah.
Like, secret society kind
It
of.
would be so cool if they came up with a John Wick video game. Like not even playing as John Wick necessarily, but just like being in that universe as like an assassin, and you know you have
How would
like
that play with? I'd have to be like a third person.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Will, you have to watch John Wick.
They're so good.
I'm sorry.
They are. I was just thinking about this last night because I watched John Wick 2 for like the billionth time. Those are my favorite action movies, like
Really?
by far.
Because the common critique of them that I've heard is like they're just like they're great, amazing action movies, but like the story is not like it's nothing to write off about.
It's I think that's a common misconception because the story is so simple. I think people say that it's not that great, but it's simple. The fact that it's simple makes it such a great story, and it's hard to explain without you actually seeing the movie.
Okay,
so
yeah, I can't say anything on
You
it.
have to watch the movies, and then I think you'll understand why the story is actually really, really good.
It's heavily lore based too. Like
Yeah, just like the world building that they did in those. Well, we're talking about John Wick.
The Last Jedi and John Wick, the two are two
Anyway.
Achilles heels.
So yeah, anyway, the guy.
Homework, Will. Go see John Wick.
Yeah.
My
All
summer
three of
homework,
them.
even though I'm out of school.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all excited. The guy from Fortnite is going to be in Cyberpunk. So
yes.
No! No!
Do you think they'll put the default?
I
names in
refuse to-
Cyberpunk?
Battle Royale.
I refuse to acknowledge him that way.
Isn't there now a battle royale in 76? Fallout 76.
yeah.
There's like a battle royale in every single game.
So irritating.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
I've been playing it, and it's bad. Yeah. It's not good.
What makes you say that? Just like
Okay, so you start up the game and you have three choices. You know, you play adventure, then hardcore adventure, and then you have nuclear winter, nuclear something. It's
That
called.
sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, you click it. The game searches for a lobby for about a minute, and then you get placed in the lobby. Well, then loading screen. Sorry. Placed in the lobby. Then you wait for, I think, it's probably about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, or a bit more, maybe 3 minutes. You're just all standing in a vault, you know, the vault-tech vaults, and everyone's just punching each other because you're
Sounds
just all
like a battle royale game.
yeah. Well, and then you pick your spawn by placing your marker on the map, and then hopefully your squad places their marker next to yours, but you don't know where the enemies are placing theirs, and so it's very random. So you place your squad on the map, then all of a sudden you find out, oh, there's like a million other enemy dots right there too. So you get spawned in, super laggy because everyone picked that spot. You cannot aim in that game.
that's
It's
horrible.
so laggy. Yeah, and then it's a mad dash to grab a crappy weapon that you can't aim with because the controls are so bad. It's not even Fallout. It's just never been good at that. I mean, Fallout 4 had good gunplay,
but it wasn't like that good. Like,
No.
You don't play Fallout 4 for the gunplay.
No,
You play it
no,
for like
no.
the story choices and the interesting side missions.
Yeah,
And the rat roaches.
Apex Legends for me.
The tunnel snakes.
Yeah.
Tunnel snakes! What are tunnel snakes?
Yeah. Apex Legends, the gunplay is fantastic, and the movement's fantastic, you know? But then you go to a game like Fallout 76, and it's like, you move like a rock. You look around like a rock, and you have these guns that just miss.
And you look like a rock.
Yeah, you can get.
I mean, the
you can
graphics
get,
in that game pretty bad. So.
The gunplay can be a little bit worse, and it's more forgiving in a single player game than like a multi. Like, when you play good multi, like I don't really like battle royale games, but I would agree. Like the gunplay felt good.
Yeah.
Like it felt good.
Did they basically just use like the Titanfall engine?
And Titanfall feels good.
Titanfall is like one of the best shooters.
Yeah, a lot of good.
So
Just in case people want to know, it's the 15th.
Oh, crap.
Oh no!
Should just
let
the
it
month. Just let it go. It's like
I thought about it like, oh man.
you just like
Halfway through the podcast, you're like, I gotta
It's
say
an
the
e-
date. I can't
it's
keep
an
it in
Easter egg.
anymore.
People really want to know, they'll stick with it.
Dave's gonna like give you crap.
Oh yeah, he will.
Dave's
Dave,
gonna put
I'm
something
sorry.
in beforehand.
Sorry, Dave. I'll let you down again. Go ahead.
I can continue. I'll just end it real quick here. So yeah, you end up being in the lobby and waiting for about 5 minutes, and you die in 10 seconds, and then you start all over again.
That sounds
It sounds like typical battle royale, except
Yeah.
worse.
It's worse. It's worse because you don't feel all of the controls. It's all of your control. You know, you can't. It's all the game's fault because I've been disconnected from lobbies, like almost winning the game.
Oh god.
Oh
And it's like-
no!
Disconnected from servers. Oh great! I see. Good to see this game hasn't changed any.
yeah, what a
Oh gosh!
Fantastic.
There's a video on YouTube by Joseph Anderson called "The 1001 Glitches of Fallout 76." It's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched the whole
Yeah.
thing?
I watched
Oh my
The whole
gosh!
thing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was great. It was great.
Some of the glitches, he got like a bear completely disappeared or something like that, and just like killed him basically. It was a mess of a game.
It's
Anyway,
super bad. Yeah, okay.
that is such a bomb. Same with Anthem. Like those are like the two big bombs lately. I think.
That's such a bummer. Anthem looked so cool when it
That-
first was like announced and they were showing the like first
the
gameplay of it, but
the very first game, because the very first trailer they showed at that E3, like
Yeah.
a year before it released or
Mhm.
something like that, or maybe a
was
year or
that
two.
was that E3?
That was
17?
a year into after concept.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that the developers saw that trailer and then they're like, "Oh, this is the game we're making." They didn't know what game they were making.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
gosh.
serious.
Yeah,
Angry
there's-
Joe has a great video on it on like why Anthem
Uh-huh.
failed pretty much, and it was because the developers were stuck in hell for
That
like
sucks.
No,
6 years.
There was an article. I haven't read it, but I heard there was a pretty good article released by like a Kotaku.
Yeah,
That
that
tells the
Angry Joe goes over that and kind of goes
like
through
they
it.
were
You
they
can
weren't
just read the
allowed
article.
to they weren't allowed to like look into like what Destiny did or like any other of those kind of like shared like game as service like those kind of
Too bad.
shares like Division. They weren't allowed to look into them. They weren't allowed to like they had to make the game like a vacuum. Like they were like not allowed to like use other games as like influence and stuff.
You need to.
And I heard they like basically like crunched the game out like into 18 months basically.
It shows. Really shows.
And they were never like equipped to make that kind of game either. I don't think.
Yeah. It shows, but it's also extremely impressive that they got that out there in 18 months. Like
Oh, yeah.
with like because it was a buggy and incomplete game, but at least it was like I felt like Fallout 76 was worse.
Yeah.
I would argue.
At least
that.
they're supporting it. It kind of sounds like Anthem's gonna get.
I think Anthem will get worse, but the starting points for each games, I think Fallout 76 had a worse starting point.
Yeah.
But
I think Fallout 76 was a bit more bitter too because of what we were expecting from a Fallout game.
Yeah, you could tell like that Anthem was probably gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah,
like
you could.
toward like not after the first reveal, but like the more like it got closer and closer to coming here.
Bethesda hid theirs better, I think.
Yeah, well, Bethesda had a lot more better faith going for it than like
That's true.
EA does,
That's
and
true.
like and where it already released like Mass Effect Andromeda was a pretty big controversy too, so they were already like under the gun a little bit more.
yeah, and then they say like, oh, this is what we're actually been working on. Like
Yeah.
Mass Effect was like
Yeah.
not a
And Mass Effect was probably better than.
yeah. That's sad.
Well, let's talk about more about this E3. Did you guys see the gameplay for the Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait,
That
what?
was good.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look bad or anything, but it didn't look like anything new. Like
oh my gosh.
like it reminded me a lot of the Force Unleashed games, just the mechanics and how it looked, which is fine. I like those games and they were good, but I didn't see anything like, eye popping, new and exciting.
Yeah.
So I probably will get it, but it didn't. It didn't really show me anything new.
blow me away. Like
Right, in terms of like lightsaber stuff. And,
But also,
Yeah.
that's also like an E3 demo where like they're playing it very tame and like slow and stuff. Like it was probably
Yeah.
like easy difficulty.
Did you notice who the actor was for the?
It's Cameron.
Yeah, whatever his last name.
Monhagen or something.
Yeah.
The guy he's in Gotham, right?
He was in Gotham. He was in Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, it was the redhead kid, right?
Yeah. The guy with the socks over his hands.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
He was in Dewey's class. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yes.
He's done a lot of stuff. He's kind of became kind of a not A-list yet, but he's probably like a B-list actor at this point. Like
He's
in Shameless for
he's been doing a lot of good
seasons
stuff.
or something. And, yeah, so good for him.
Yeah, but yeah, it looked great, and
It has some very obvious inspirations from a lot of current games. I feel like a little bit. I think from the footage I saw, there was like a stamina meter or something almost that I saw, or some sort of meters that's like, okay, those meters kind of look like Dark Souls, where you have your dodge, you have your like it's obviously not going to be very Soulsy, but like you have your dodge, you have your like attacks that all use the stamina. That I feel like that draws a lot of the combat from Dark Souls.
Well, I think that was like what Force Unleashed was like too. Like
oh really?
Stamina.
I never played Force Unleashed.
Force abilities and stuff.
All right. Yeah.
But I mean, like that's like every game uses that.
Yeah. How do you not have a lightsaber game? How do you limit your
well,
lightsaber usage?
I have to wait to throw my lightsaber. How does this make sense?
Start throwing around like a frisbee.
Yeah.
I hope it's good though. I think it'll be good. Like I don't need the world from the gameplay as long as it's fun and like I'm not looking for much of a challenge from it either. Like
you're not looking for a Cyberpunk from it. You're looking for a fun.
I'm looking
distraction.
for a fun 8 to 10 hour Star Wars.
That's probably what it would be.
Hopefully some cool set pieces. Hopefully a good story. Like
hopefully EA really hits it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, they kind of need to.
I've been really
They've had a few
disappointed with
flops.
their last
I mean,
couple.
how long have they had the exclusive contract and like
5 years, and there's
Gosh,
been 3
yeah.
games, and
Yeah.
that's including Jedi Fallen
Yeah,
Order.
both the Battlefront games were disappointments. So.
Battlefront 2 has gotten better though.
The second one
Battlefront
was
2.
a lot better,
I
and
think
it's
it's
gotten
better.
better.
And even then, there's consistent free updates with like tons of new content. Like Clone Wars era just got added,
Yeah,
ton
I
of new
thought about
stuff.
getting it now, but like I was so burnt from the first one, I was really pissed off about the first one.
And that's annoying too. I mean, I don't blame you for that, but it's annoying because the second game was a lot better, and it's a lot better. And people like you are saying like they just don't even want to try it out because
they also the second one came out and had a terrible launch too. Like they they butchered
Lootboxes.
Yeah, they butchered the launch. It was like okay, like nope, like
I think the gaming companies are slowly realizing that people hate the loot box stuff. They hate the pay to win stuff. I was watching that Avengers game for, was it Ubisoft that's doing that?
Square
Or Square Enix. And that's like one of the main things they said was like, and it has free DLC and like free updates and
they are putting microtransactions into that one.
They said they weren't.
No, they said no loot boxes, but I'm pretty sure they said there will be microtransactions.
I thought that was like one of the main things they said because I watched did you watch the?
I just read it. I read it.
Okay, because I watched the press conference and that was one of the things they said.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't have any.
I'll bet you $5 they got microtransactions.
I don't have enough faith in myself to take that one.
Because I was thinking like
tight.
it's an Avengers game. Like how do you not monetize it in some way? Like we got a Spider-Man game that didn't have any like microtransactions except for the DLC, which was a blessing from God. Like
I'm fine paying for DLC too. Like I'm okay with that. Like if the game.
Well, yeah, DLC is different than like
microtransactions.
Yeah, like I understand that, but yeah.
It's got to be a complete game though.
Yeah, I don't
exactly.
I don't like it when it's in single player games too. Like I don't like when it's like you can even in a single player game like paying for skins and stuff. Like make it unlockable.
Oh yeah, for sure. Story DLC is different though. I like story DLC as long as the story is complete and then you have DLC. Like I finally played through. Burial at Sea, yes, thank you.
Yeah,
from BioShock Infinite, great addition to the story.
Well, yeah, like both those DLCs, like in total, probably had like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like
It was great.
So it's like that's well worth it. Or I think like the Witcher 3, when it came out, had 2 expansions that added probably 40 or 50 hours worth of story content. It was like $20 for it. And it's like that's real value.
That's a steal, yeah.
Yeah, like as opposed, or even like the Last of Us had a DLC.
Oh, Left Behind? Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I liked it.
2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
Did we talk about Avengers yet? The game?
Oh, okay. We talked about it a little bit, like microtransactions, but not
about
what we wanted to talk about, which is like gameplay and story and character models.
So I watched the video of it at E3, and I can't tell what the game is, like what it's like playing the game. They showed like it was mainly like a story trailer, and they showed like maybe like 3 seconds total of what I think might be like the actual mechanics of the game.
I saw Iron Man flying at one point, kind of like, okay, is that
right? Like, is that like me playing, or so I don't really know what it's like yet. So I can't really say if I'm excited for it or not. It just doesn't do anything for me, really.
I'm just hoping it's not like quick time events the game, you know? Like, it's
Yeah.
just a bunch of quick time events. That'd be the worst.
I doubt it will because it is co-op, so it's like that'd be kind of hard to...
Yeah, okay.
Co-op,
fair
enough.
enough. All match square.
I bet you it's some kind of third person...
It's probably going to be like Spider-Man, honestly, except not as good as Combat.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's got that, like... I don't think the characters look ugly. Like, it's just got kind of an uncanny valley look to it.
Well, I mean, and I think a big part of the people not liking the character design is probably because they're so used to the MCU and they have a image in their mind of what they think they should look like because the MCU is so popular right now.
It's been around for so long.
Right. So people want it to look like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and have the same like costume design and everything, but it's just different.
People do need to know though that these are not that the MCU is not the definitive way to interpret Tony Stark.
Oh yeah,
it's not the definitive way to do
because
this.
The MCU is interpretation of the source material.
Exactly, and I think people need to like. Did they mess up the designs a bit? I feel like they did. I feel like the designs could be a lot
Captain
better.
America looked
Captain America looks like he's wearing
like
he looks like he's wearing just football pads, hockey pads.
That's
I'm like,
America's
dude.
Tony.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a casual, so what you were saying, like, it didn't feel right that it was that it wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
Right, and I mean, it's don't get me wrong, it's smart to make like the comics then look more like Robert Downey Jr. It's just like, oh, see, it's the same thing, and it's the same thing you love here that makes billions of dollars. Excuse me. But yeah, at the same time, it's just an interpretation of it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the game's supposed to come out in like March
2020, I think.
Yeah,
May
so-
May 2020.
Yeah, which is
Like Avengers
really
or
early
something.
for not seeing gameplay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, just because they didn't show gameplay doesn't mean they have it. They're probably hiding it and then just are going to release it.
I know, but that seems weird. Like, you almost always show like a gameplay trailer.
Well, like even for example, the Spider-Man PS4 ounce of gameplay and more like story trailer.
Yeah.
Like you actually saw what it would look like if you played it.
Yeah.
But you also got kind of a glimpse of the story and what's going on.
Yeah.
This was just like I'm just seeing like random shots. Yeah. So
I'm kind of skeptical on it, but I'm intrigued by it. I'd play it if it looks good.
I mean, if I see something else about it, I'll definitely be more interested.
I want to give a quick discussion towards a game that Ben's probably really hyped for. Elden Ring.
Watch Dogs 2?
Elden Ring, the new FromSoftware game.
Another cryptic looking game from FromSoftware. I honestly think that our audio is being picked up from the laptop right now. Just gonna say that real quick. But yeah, yeah, I think it definitely is, which isn't good. So Elden Ring. Yeah, from what they showed from that trailer, it didn't. It is because when you're talking and coughing, it really spikes up because you're closest to the laptop.
Oh, shoot. It could be.
Yep.
Is it?
That would explain a lot.
Picked up right there. Right.
Ha! No, it's the mic. Sorry.
Well, you're right next to the laptop. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
but I'm talking right into the microphone.
How? See if it does it like.
I think it's fine.
Are we going to cut this out or leave this in?
No, we're keeping this in. This is gold.
Oh boy.
Behind the scenes.
A fresh look at our new podcast.
Paranoid emblem.
Well, I know it wasn't working. Well, it was being funky earlier, but so you can cut that out. Sorry, Dave.
Keep it, Dave.
Uh,
I'm going to keep bringing it up so you can't cut it out.
Dave, remember to keep that section in.
Dave, remember how horrible all that stuff was we were talking about?
And Mick was screaming like a madman. What were you saying?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
So, Elden Ring. So, yeah, it looks cryptic and weird and creepy, just like people expect from FromSoftware games. So, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So,
and they got George R. R. Martin doing some writing for it, I think.
yeah, I didn't see that.
He probably wrote like one sentence and check, like tapped out.
Exactly.
I'll collect my money now.
Yeah, it'll be really cool if he wrote all the lore for it, though. It'd be like super interesting.
Yeah, it's still too early to tell what it's even about. I mean, it seems like they're really just trying to recapture the Dark Souls magic, even though they ended the Dark Souls, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's the secret ending to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the better ending.
Season 9.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not too excited for it though until I see some gameplay.
No gameplay, no hype.
What?
No gameplay, no hype.
Yeah,
That's a
No play, no play.
I've been burned by that too many times now. So, yeah.
yeah.
Not gonna trust it.
So Sony wasn't at E3.
Oh jeez, yeah. That's
They won it though. They still won.
okay. Shut up.
Well, I mean, so
Nintendo won without a doubt. Nintendo
well, think about it
destroyed
though, because I mean they didn't really have any news to talk about, but like every big game that was announced is cross-platform, right?
I don't think many of their games are cross-platform. I don't think they're new. Like I don't think.
I'm talking about the games that were like
the games that were
like
E3
Cyberpunk,
were mostly
for example,
cross-platform.
like
yeah.
that were
The stuff they
talked
showed at
about
Square Enix, the stuff they
Exactly,
showed at
yeah.
Ubisoft, the
like
stuff
all
they
that is
showed.
coming out on PS4. So for them, really,
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like it's almost free marketing in a way.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to worry about
right.
being there.
Yeah, or they're
To be-
just gonna.
yeah.
Like I have a feeling that like most of the games that they're developing that haven't already been announced, like are probably for the PS5, so they're not gonna announce
Right,
those.
yeah.
Until they announce the
Yeah.
PS5.
Do you think they'll look back next year with the PS5?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard from people that maybe will announce the PS5 at like PlayStation Experience, which is like their own.
What is that?
I think it's in like the winter time.
December. I think it's
Yeah.
December. They didn't have it last time.
Yeah.
They didn't have December, and then they didn't have E3 this time. So they've gone a long drought without a presentation.
Yeah, so I bet they come out and they like show the PS5 and they like show like a couple new games.
Because like the state of play is bullcrap. Like anybody seen the state of play that they do? Like they're like 10-minute presentation. Like they try to copy the Nintendo Direct format where they just stream like a presentation full of like games that they show off. The games that they show are not super like state of play worthy. Like they're cool. Some of them are really cool. But the only one that I've been like, oh my gosh, is Final Fantasy VII Remake. They devoted the trailer for that. It was like a super small
That comes out
short
pretty
story.
soon, right?
Oh, I am so excited. March 3rd, 2020.
Yeah.
Landon, you're just a hater. You're just a hater on anything Nintendo.
I feel like you
or
would like
Square.
the
like
the Final Fantasy
I
games.
bet like part one, like I've heard like lots of stuff that like all the parts of that game probably don't ever come out. Like they might like the first one out, but like
what makes you say that?
it's just experts out here talk about it.
Okay, all right. Wait, hold on a second. What's your sources? I want to know your
I listened
sources.
to like a PlayStation podcast and this guy like was covered.
Is it an officially endorsed PS podcast?
No.
Okay,
That's
then-
guy.
Come on.
That's guy.
No.
That's like us
No.
talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's
It's
been
like
in- this guy's been in
I
the
bet he's just
industry
staying
for
there
a
like,
long time.
oh, I bet that all the parts are not going to come out because there's no way they make enough money
You're
off
like
of this.
crying like when like you only have part one like.
Well, is that your only like evidence?
Like, okay, I'm
Oh,
not
come
crying.
on.
That's your only evidence?
All right, how long did it take him to get Kingdom Hearts 3 out? How long?
But it's out.
yeah, it took him.
it
10,
came
it took
out.
him 10 freaking years. How long did it take him to make Final Fantasy 15?
It's out.
Like 10 years.
It's out.
So you think they're gonna remake Final Fantasy VII and get it out? Like they've only been developing it for a couple of years.
I think so because I think what they're doing is they're developing the whole thing. They're developing the whole thing. Okay, they're developing the whole thing, and then once they're finished with the part, they ship it out. That would be my guess of how they're handling it.
Do they know how many parts there's going to be?
No, they don't.
Maybe is it
But this first one only
7
is taking
parts?
place in Midgar, which is kind of worrying, I will admit, because Midgar is not a gigantic portion of the game.
I don't
It's-
know anything about Final
I don't-
Fantasy,
I
so.
don't-
yeah.
It's not a giant part of the game. I don't think. I've never actually played Final
It's
Fantasy
almost
VII,
like they don't
but
have
from
that
what
much
I've heard,
of
what?
It's almost like they haven't made that much of it.
Okay, shut up, Landon.
almost like
Like
they're trying to
you're
make
such a
super
hater.
losses.
Oh my gosh, you're
Like
such a
trying to
hater.
make- They know these dumb fanboys with goggles.
You know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is like sold a crap ton,
Yeah, it took them 10 years to make it though. So like, you know,
dude. It
Didn't you
okay.
buy it?
no.
You didn't buy it?
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in 2019.
I watched Dave. I watched Dave play a little bit of it, and like
This is a game for children.
yeah, you know, like the what is
Is
it?
it ready to eat?
The dialogue.
Chip and Dale come over like the cell phone and are talking to like Donald and Goofy. I'm like, what? Like I'm like,
Okay.
grow the heck up.
Okay, you know what, Landon? Like, I don't think
That's why people like the game though.
Dude, they liked it when they were 10, and then they waited 10 years for the next game to come out when they're 20.
So what?
So what?
So what? You're gonna judge a person for liking Kingdom
Are
Hearts?
you saying you don't like the Disney movies you grew up with?
No, I like them. I'm just saying.
Well, it's the same
but
argument.
Kingdom Hearts is like
What? What? Come on. Yeah. What? You got nothing. Stupid.
It's
Sit down.
retarded.
Sit down. Okay, sit
You're
down.
just mad because you missed out on this like ginormous phenomenon
Dude,
growing up.
You
and-
watch it. It's like watching like an aneurysm. Like if like I feel like that's what an aneurysm is. It's like, I think that's like when your brain's bleeding out internally. Like,
Yeah, it
that's
does-
what you see in your height. Like
it
in
does-
Your mind.
It does hurt to watch some
Yeah.
of the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like physically, you feel ill
Yeah.
and in pain.
It's a
How are you guys
style. It's an
watching? Like,
adaptive
what?
taste.
And honestly, it's
You know you're not supposed to beat your head with a
So-
hammer when you're
I
watching.
did not think that's where you were going.
I needed to finish what I was saying.
Case in point, the Little Mermaid. Anything to do with Little Mermaid scenes.
Okay, so the Little Mermaid scenes, I don't. Okay, I agree with you. The Little Mermaid's like, okay, don't play the Little Mermaid worlds if you can. The first ones were.
Isn't
Isn't
it required though? Like
The second one. The second one's not required to beat Atlantis, I don't think. But the first one is required to beat
Did
Atlantis.
you do it well?
I can't remember.
I played it multiple times.
But basically, it's just such a childhood-infused game. I feel like
yeah, it's Disney.
It's Disney. Like, if you're looking for something like Cyberpunk out of it, you're not going to get it. I'm sorry, you're not. You're
He's
not
like,
going
where's
to
all
get
the
it.
blood and gore?
Like,
Where's all the serious themes?
no,
It's
it
like,
just
dude,
doesn't
come
make
on.
any sense. The game doesn't make any sense, and it's deeply disturbing.
How does it not make sense? And how is it
It
deeply
is
disturbing? How does it not make sense? And how is it deeply
I
disturbing?
watched like Dave play for 15 minutes, and I was like, oh,
Okay,
no.
if you watch
Like, good
Dave
lord.
play a Kingdom Hearts game for the 15 minutes, you have no idea what's
I was
going on.
laughing
You
so
play a
hard.
game and
I
you have
was
no idea what's going on.
laughing
You play the
so
trilogy and you have no idea what's going on.
I just don't like its erotic themes. You know, it's erotic undertones.
Oh, the goofy Hyucks. The seductive goofy Hyucks.
Oh man. Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk about from E3?
I'm exhausted from yelling at Landon. I think we should move on from this. Like,
Oh, you never stop yelling at Landon.
okay,
That honestly too.
that's a constant.
Even when
fight.
the podcast is over.
I will say I was like so close to buying Kingdom Hearts. Like I wanted to I was like, you know what, I'm thinking about buying. Like, third one came out, everyone was hyped for it, and then like I did watch like Dave for like 15 minutes. I was like, oh no,
Nah, same for me, man.
yeah, like
Nah, dog.
You guys are just haters.
I was
You
like,
guys
I
just
can't.
don't understand.
well, I was like, I just can't do this. Like this is just something like I can't.
I understand.
As a man of principle.
I don't know what principle it is,
A principle of personal bias.
but
Maybe.
yeah, no, definitely.
Definitely.
Did you guys see that there's a new show coming out called Holey Moley?
Yeah, you showed us. It looks.
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
like it's like a cross between the show Wipeout and like just the most outrageous mini golfing you could imagine.
the
love
posse out there.
Who's the executive producer?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. Yeah.
Second best basketball player in the world, right behind Kevin Durant. That's
Oh.
another one for Jonah right there. You can go on with that.
Well, no, Jonah's a LeBron fan.
I know, but he hates the Warriors.
Oh, does he?
Unfortunately, the Warriors did lose.
Unfortunately. Go Raptors.
I was really hoping he'd be on like in the Warriors, like we're still in take jabs.
Sorry.
Dubs will be back next year.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Stop.
Yeah, so I want to watch that show. It looks
Yeah,
really funny.
I definitely.
I mean,
watch. I
There's a
love this
Wipeout
kind,
hole
Like,
in all our hearts. Like,
well, like I love watching Wipeout. Like any of those dumb like obstacle, like not dumb, like you know, like obstacle course.
Oh, just
They're
totally
just fun. They're
ridiculous.
just fun.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to be on one just to see like how terrible I would
Dude,
be.
you would be like one of the people that people watch at home and be like, that guy's insane.
will never take me alive.
You'd have some like weird
Scooter.
battle cry before you started the whole chorus. And,
I'd be
like,
screaming
then you like
people.
rip your shirt off. And
Yeah. I would embrace the moment. You guys know me. I would definitely go
Oh, yeah.
all the way.
Oh boy.
Take all your clothes off.
I can't wait to see you covered in mud.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh no.
So we're gonna wrap up pretty quickly here,
We gotta talk about dinner.
but yeah, let's. You guys just went to a steak place.
Yeah,
Go ahead and talk about
we're
it.
recording a lot later than we planned. We planned on recording at 7, and we didn't start till like 9 o'clock because we went to
It's
dinner.
10 at night right now.
Yeah, we went to dinner at 5:30, and we got our table at 6, and like we ordered. We did take a little bit to order, like because we don't go out that.
I would say we take out like only 25 minutes though. 25 minutes to order.
Tops.
Tops. Like that's generous.
Yeah, and
You
then
guys
we.
just should have gone to Golden Corral.
Okay. All right. That's too far.
Yeah, it's more controversial.
There's steak there.
Now I get to yell at you, Michael.
I'm really good steak. No, Will, we've been on the same team this whole podcast. Don't jump ship.
There would have been no way for our food.
But we ordered.
Exactly.
we
Okay,
ordered,
Excellent point.
and like Ben got a burger, but the rest of us got like a steak dinner order, which came with like soup and then steak and
Breadsticks.
we had bread. It wasn't breadsticks, but there was like the free bread they give out, like the little like brown loaves of bread that's pretty good.
Oh, the
Yeah.
brown loaves.
Yeah, it came with 2 sides and a dessert as well.
Yeah, but the soup comes out after like 20 minutes, so we waited 20 minutes just for the soup to come
I
out.
watch everyone eat their snoop.
Yeah, because that was kind of sad. Soup's good, then we sat there and we waited, and then like another 20 minutes went by. We were like, okay, all right, where's our food? And like the guy, the waiter's like, oh, your food's almost on the way out, and then like we're like, okay, and then like probably another 15 or 20 minutes went by.
And by that time, like 2 other families had gotten there, eaten, and left.
Yeah, basically, yeah, like and we're sitting there, and then this lady comes over, and like it looks like she's just gonna grab one of the menus and walk away with it, but then she like kind of folds it, gets on her knees, she's like, so, and it's like, oh, okay.
So wait,
Here we go.
so from the time you guys ordered to this now
It's
happening.
probably been an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's like, so there was like an issue with the printing.
Here's the issue. Yeah.
She just starts sobbing.
Like,
Please forgive me.
She was
like-
the new, I think. She said she was the
said
new
she was
girl
new,
too.
So she's like, there's an issue with like the printer, so like our order didn't even go through.
Oh my
It's like
gosh.
somehow they got the soup out to us, but she's like, it's almost done. She's like, is there anything we could do for you guys, like maybe a free appetizer or something? Like
This is where I go like the chump route.
like
and
Will
then-
was like seconds away from saying like, oh, that'd be awesome, and I'm like, how about we get like a discount on our food?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't have the authority to do that, but I'll go and ask. And I was like, all right, you're the messenger, it's fine, just go. And like, she walked away and Will was like, I don't know, man. Like, the free
cheesy fries. The
sound
cheesy
pretty good.
fries.
And like,
dude.
I'm like, no, Will. Like, we make a stand. He's like, well, what if they
Yeah.
don't? Like, what if they don't like it? And I'm like, no, they will.
If they don't, walk out.
Yeah.
You got at that point the customer deserves the free meal.
So, but I really thought we were just gonna get a discount. Like, I just asked for a discount. Like, I would have
Yeah.
been happy with.
Spoilers, Michael.
I would have been happy with like 25% off or something. Because I mean, like,
Right.
you know, it's whatever. It's just a longer wait. But like, they came back out a while later, and she's like, so we're just gonna, all your food's gonna be free. And I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like a hero.
That's
And then you
right.
ask for her number, right?
And Landon gets rejected.
Was she
Never mind.
blonde?
You're paying for it all.
Frizzy hair.
But we prevailed. But even after they part where they said it was going to be free, it was probably still another 15 minutes before our food came out. So we probably waited like an hour and 15 minutes.
I guess at that point though, once you realize it's free, you're like, well,
Yeah,
I mean, we
it's
can't
like-
really complain
yeah.
how long it's gonna take.
I felt like, I don't know, it felt kind of weird. I've never done that before, actually. Like,
I'm proud of you though. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
To know when to stand up.
Oh yeah,
for
it was
yourself.
one of those things. Like, we had stuff we were supposed to do. Like, you had to go home and wait for us. Like,
Yeah.
'cause you were out doing other things. So it's
Mhm.
like you could have definitely came. Like, you could have
Yeah.
gone home and came and had dinner with us.
Yeah.
And we all didn't. None of us ordered anything that expensive at the menu, which was
No.
a darn shame.
You're like, actually, can I add to the order now, please?
Yeah. Like, there was a moment I almost got something that was like $30,
King
and
Crab.
I got
Gosh.
something that was like 15 instead because I was like, I don't want to spend $30.
Exact same thing.
You jumped out and paid for
Crab,
it.
which is like $50.
Yeah.
So that means, so lesson learned here is always buy the most
Always the
expensive
big
meal.
because that one chance out of like 100.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be
Yep.
so on the order.
You'll be
I think
so
it's
glad when
more
you get
than
that
one in
free meal.
100. It's more like 1 in 1,000
Yeah.
almost. Like,
Yeah. So, oh well. We still left the guy a tip, I think.
How much did you tip?
It was quite a
We
bit.
left at 20. So between the 5 of us, so I mean, really not that much.
For a free meal, that's a huge tip.
Yeah. But like,
Actually-
I kind of felt a little bit bad. Like, I mean, like,
That's actually a pretty large tip, because if we all ordered like a $16 meal,
There's like 6.
and there was 5 of us, that's $4 per person. And that's 4 divided by 6, that's a 25% tip.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a pretty large tip, which I think they handled it pretty well.
And I mean,
so.
at the end of the day, like, it was probably one person's fault or one piece of equipment's fault. So it's like,
Yeah, you can't really.
at the end of the day, like, it shouldn't, like, you know, it's not going to affect the business that much, but it's still nice for them to probably get a little tip from something.
Yeah,
They still put effort into serving us, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, they really tried once they realized they screwed up. Like,
Yeah, they hustled a little bit.
I felt kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like our food came out
Especially
surprisingly
when, like,
fast.
our acquaintance was so cool. Like, he was, like, laughing at the guy. Oh, man, our food's free.
Can we talk about Colby for a second?
Yeah, we can talk trash about him.
Man, he's just the worst.
Dude, Colby just sucks.
Colby's right in the other room.
I mean, he's only an acquaintance of the
He's
show.
only an acquaintance. Like, he's not allowed in this room.
Yeah.
We bought a 5th microphone, showed it to him, and said, "No, you can't be on the show."
You
Smashed
resold
it.
We held it above his head because
Yeah,
he's so
he's very
short.
short. He's
He just
actually-
couldn't reach it.
Like, he probably won't like this. He's actually, like, he's 4'6". So, yeah. There's a lot. Yeah.
Smashed it with a hammer.
4'6" of pure sass.
Yeah.
Hey, Colby.
Hey,
oh
my gosh, no way.
There he is.
Don't spit on my floor.
Or that.
Colby's
Okay.
embarrassing. Like, we need to have a talk.
I didn't see it.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Where can people find us at, Nick?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
On this 15th of June.
2019.
It is 15th of
Clarify.
June. All right, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. You can also visit our website at www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at HotKeysPodcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/podcast.hotkeys. I did it!
Yeah,
Yes!
First try.
First
Our
time.
Facebook group's really popping.
Yeah.
Oh, popping on. I don't have a Facebook, so like.
Oh, it's big.
Oh, it's big.
It's like the biggest Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean,
Ever?
it's a thriving
We got
community.
people all over the globe. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be people that are like Outback Steakhouse. I mean, like,
What is
what's
Outback
that?
Steakhouse?
back Steakhouse?
Nani?
And please like, review us, and subscribe on whichever platforms you use. And you can also contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.
Go Warriors.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you all next week.
I will not.
Goodbye.
Except for Will. Bye.